Have you or anyone you know been bullied at school or anyone else?
Have I been bullied? Yes, I've definitely been bullied 8th grade.
Yeah, I mean, people get bullied all the time.
No, nobody I know has been bullied.
No.
No, but I've seen a lot of bullying being done at school. I mean, high school puts a lot of peer pressure on you.
I was bullied because I came from down south, born and raised down south as a country girl, and I had an accent and I was short. So I was bullied and made fun of a lot.
I know one person who has been bullied at school, and it's my friend Shannon. She's a little short, so a lot of people come at her and say that she's short or tiny, and it kind of makes her feel bad about herself. Even though it might not be a big deal, other people it is a big deal to her.
Yeah, I've known a couple people that have been bullied. Close friends of mine have been bullied. It's not a good situation. I feel like it's just a stupid thing to get into. You shouldn't have to pick on other people to make yourself feel better.
If I see someone being bullied, I try to help them out, not try to get in the situation, just try to help the person out of it.
Yeah, I think I know a few people that have been bullied, especially in school. I know my friends, sometimes they can be like bullies without even knowing it because they'll have real negative comments or something like that. They can really set someone off and they don't even realize it.
What are ways that people are being bullied today?
I mean, they get made fun of because of what they look like or how much money they have or what ethnicity they are, what race they are.
Probably picking on them about their weight and the way they look.
Their religion, their height, their weight, their skin color, what they wear, what they do. Like if you're in bands or if you're in something like a sport, you might be bullied.
People getting picked on, getting laughed at. People are being beat up and stuff by larger, stronger people.
A lot of people are being pressured into doing a lot of things they don't want to do.
Usually, but it's nonchalant, joking, but it's really insulting. They think it's okay to make fun of someone, but it's really not.
None of us likes to feel like we have no control, or like we're less than others, or invaluable.
We protect ourselves from this by making friends, finding a social circle that gives us support, and speaking up for ourselves.
Many times, though, young people still find themselves in a situation where they're being bullied.
Sometimes it happens to kids who just have a hard time making friends, so they don't have friends to protect them.
And sometimes friends don't have what they need to take on a bully. And sometimes the bullying is so nasty that it's hard to stop.
Bullying. That's what we'll be talking about today. Hi everyone, I'm Gabby.
And I'm Matt.
And this is RealfaithTV. It seems like bullying is not only on the rise, but also becoming more apparent through the news reports and the use of new media.
Recent videos have turned up on YouTube showing acts of bullying for the sake of entertainment.
And harassment through the use of social networking sites and texting have given bullies new outlets to further abuse their victims.
In fact, most of the teens on the street said that they had witnessed instances of bullying in their daily lives, both in and out of school.
We'll talk with them more in a few minutes, as well as meet our studio guest.
But first, let's meet our spotlight guest, Brielle, where she'll describe what a bully is to her.
And how she found herself a victim of bullying, both on and off school grounds.
If I were to describe a bully, I would say a bully is someone who intentionally hurts someone either physically or mentally through text, internet, or even in person. I think the most common way I see bullying is on the internet, mostly on social networking like Facebook or MySpace. I see a lot of threatening or hurtful posts. It's considered cyberbullying, and definitely texting, and more likely in the hallways than in classes. A bully tries to make themselves feel better by making someone else feel worse, by telling them all this stuff and brainwashing them to make them feel worthless and lower than everyone else around them. And I think it's like a power thing, a bully wants to feel in control by making the other person weaker. I think bullying is not what everyone assumes it to be. I think it's way worse, and it could be very serious, like when people start to hurt themselves and start hurting others, and even taking their own life because they feel like they're alone. Yes, I have personally been bullied before, and a lot of people I know have been bullied. A couple years ago, these girls decided to gang up on me, and they would send me texts saying they were going to fight me and they were going to hit me, and they tried turning everyone against me. It really made me feel awful, and they would come up to me in the hallway and call me mean names, spread rumors around school, tell people all these lies, and make a lot of people hate me and think a lot of bad stuff about me. And they would call me unrestricted almost every day, telling me I'm ugly, I have no friends, a lot of mean stuff that really hurt.
Wow, Brielle's story was really intense. I mean, I've only heard about stuff like that on TV shows or maybe a story on the internet, but I've never actually known anybody or had that personal experience myself.
Yeah, I've never had to witness anything as tragic as that. Well, let's see what our studio guests have to say.
Okay, they are Dan, Charlotte, Annie, Andrew, Steve, Tiffany, and Jenna.
So in what ways have you guys witnessed bullying?
And have you ever been a victim of it?
Well, I've witnessed bullying like mostly everywhere, in grammar school and high school now too, but I've noticed that it's kind of varies, the different types of bullying, like as Brielle said, like internet bullying, and then bullying like just at school and in the hallways at school, just around different people.
Yeah, I think at some point in everyone's lives, it's especially in the school system, everyone sees bullying, but there's not necessarily always those people that step in and, try and change what's happening to someone, so.
I'd agree with Andrew. I think we've all had experience of bullying where maybe not was on with us, but with like people around us.
I know I've been the victim of being bullied and stuff on numerous occasions, and it's just sad how common bullying is in today's society.
Yeah, I actually just witnessed bullying yesterday. I work at a summer camp, and the two campers were having a conflict because the girl told her, "Oh, you're the worst juggler in our class." And the girl got very upset about it, so I had to sit the two of them down, and they had to like talk it out and everything. It all worked out, but.
Well, I don't remember being personally bullied, but there was this girl who kept bullying this weaker girl, and it got so bad and no one stood up and said anything, so eventually I stood up and talked to her.
So it seems like bullying can happen to just about anyone, especially those whom bullies perceive to be different or in some way weaker.
Bullies have the need to feel stronger or superior to their victims.
They are often acting out behavior they have witnessed at home or deflecting their own feelings of worthlessness onto others.
Just because there are some psychological reasons why people bully others does not excuse this type of behavior in any way.
And just because schools have developed no tolerance policies does not mean it doesn't take place elsewhere.
As we've seen with Brielle, much bullying takes place in cyberspace and over text messaging.
And while it isn't physical, it can be just as damaging.
So what do you do in that type of situation?
That's what we asked the teens on the street.
Let's hear what they had to say.
What should you do if you or someone you know is being bullied?
Well, I mean, it's best to just ignore it because when people bully you, they're always trying to get a reaction out of you. And if you just don't care, I mean, it's what you think about yourself that's important, not what other people think about you.
Tell somebody or stick up for yourself, but don't get anybody else involved.
Tell the person that's picking on them to stop picking on them.
When you're being bullied, it's just pushing through it and having mental toughness, I think, is a big part of it.
Just don't give into it. Walk away. Be a bigger person.
If you just ignore it and go on and you believe in yourself, I think you're good.
Tell like a parent or someone you can trust.
We should definitely help them out. Like report it if you can. Tell a teacher or whoever to get help.
Stand up for yourself. Don't let them bully you around. Stand your ground. Just be your own person.
I wouldn't bully back to make the situation worse. Usually tell somebody to try to help it out.
What should the Christian response be to bullying?
The Christian response to bullying is to definitely work to stop it and get people to realize how much bullying can hurt someone. I'm not very religious, so I don't know what to say to that.
Helping by being there for them. Try to help that person who's bullying and understand why they're doing it, Like what's like making them want to be a bully.
If you're getting bullied, it's two rights, don't make a wrong, don't be bullying people, and ask what God would want you to do.
I think they should just tell people to have confidence and to defend people and step in and not be scared because you're doing the right thing.
So it seems like when it comes to bullying, there's different ways you can resolve it. I mean, you can ignore it, you can get help, you could talk it out with somebody. Mm-hmm. But how about you guys? What are some ways that you've resolved issues with bullies?
I think it depends on like the bully. Like if your bully is being physical with you or if they're like on the computer with you, there's different ways to resolve it. Sometimes you actually do have to step in and tell the bully like enough's enough, and then other times you do have to ignore it. Like if you're on the computer, maybe just take your name out of whatever it's on, like if it's on Facebook, untag yourself or something like that.
Yeah, I think the best thing for someone to do who's either getting bullied or they know someone who's a victim of bullying, I think the best thing is to stick up for them. Find a friend, like someone who can help you through the tough time, I guess.
Yeah, personally, I got bullied and I stood up for myself to make it stop, so that really helped.
A lot of people are afraid to stand up to bullies, so maybe if you're afraid to stand up to them or talk to them, maybe you could just pray for them.
Exactly. They can pray for the guidance to actually be able to approach the situation, and also the courage to be able to face their fears. And with prayer, we also have to pray for them as well. We can pray for the victim as well as the bully, because humans have all been created with dignity and value.
And for that matter, with the same dignity and value.
No one person is better than another.
If we believe that, then there is no room for superiority, no room for bullying.
One of the biggest problems with stopping bullying is that often the victims feel some kind of shame or that they brought the behavior on themselves.
Sometimes bullying can progress to the point where they believe the lies being said about them.
Next, Brielle shares how being bullied impacted the way she viewed herself,
leading to feelings of isolation and loneliness.
When the situation was going on, I felt alone, like I had no one, because they were telling me that I had no friends, and I started to believe them because they were my friends, and now they're no longer my friends. And I just felt really bad, and the stuff they were saying would just hurt me, and I would cry. Like, they made me cry so many times. It started getting better after I prayed more, and I thought, like, you know, this isn't gonna go on forever. They'll stop, they'll get over it. I knew they can't be mean forever. Like, life goes on, and so will they, and I won't know them forever. After school, I'm on my own. I got better plans in life. When you're getting put in that situation, you don't want to tell on them, because then you're like the tattletale, and you feel like they're gonna make fun of you more. After the event happened, I realized that someone must have told the principal, or somehow the principal found out about this, because I didn't actually go and confront anyone about this. Basically, the principal settled everything. The girls eventually apologized, and they were no longer allowed to threaten me, and they were being watched more. I think after the principal have spoken to those girls, they realized how mean they really were to me, and realized how much it affected me and changed my life. And I think that's what made them stop. I learned that you can tell an adult and it will make things better, because you can always make it anonymous, even if it was you, and it just totally helps the situation, because they never know who said anything, and it really changes the outcome. Through that experience, this really made me learn that I could do that, and now for further issues, I will learn to go and tell a trusted adult without being frightened.
What are some ways we can companion those dealing with the pain of bullying?
I think just by being there for the person and saying, hey, I'm here for you, even if you tell them, hey, I've been bullied too, I've been in the same shoes you have, and just let them know that you're there.
I think offering help to a guidance counselor or going to a parent or something to resolve the issue really helps a lot.
Yeah, I think that letting them know that everything's going to be okay, that would probably help them too.
You could also pray for them, and you can also pray for the bully, because sometimes the pain the bully's inflicting on the person who's being bullied is worse. And it's important to pray for that person too, with the bully and the victim.
I think maybe just letting the person know that they're not alone in it will help them a lot.
Yeah, and what I think is really important is just to be a true friend, be there to be the person that they can lean on.
Bullies thrive on making others upset and making them feel like they have no control.
One way we can help is by reaching out to someone who's being bullied and offering them support by hanging out with them.
Or encouraging their own self-confidence and giving them a group to be with so they aren't out there on their own.